Hello. We're back. It's been a couple of weeks. We're going to try a different format today. It's going to be in three sessions, and I will deal with, in the first session, I want to deal with my previous journey down the fundamentalist road. In the second session, I would like to deal with how I changed my views and who actually God is, or what does God consist of. And finally, I would like to probably bring to focus where we are at today and where's the hope and where are the miracles. So I'll start at the beginning and if you had watched any of my videos, Hope, Truth, and Miracles, you will be aware that I started out with three miracles. And all of this happened while I was this literalist, Bible believing, fundamentalist, right wing, and according to the news media, fanatic. But nevertheless, I kept going because I really believed what I was doing was the right thing, and I really had a grip on quote unquote reality. Uh, the amazing thing is that during this time, and even before that time, my name was called. God called my name, if you want. It wasn't a human voice. Another point, Jesus spoke to me up in the woods. Uh, Again, it wasn't a human voice. It was in the English language and understandable, but the essence of it was beyond human. So, at any rate, I did this fundamentalist, well, let's call it trip, to the fullest. I became a very strong pro life crusader. Still am pro life, but I sort of let go of the crusade part of it. I was very anti the uh, what's known today as the LGBTQ NB movement, and I've I was very harsh in that territory. I thought it was not the right thing to be going on or promoted. But at any rate, uh, I came to the end of all of these fundamentalist views, and my faith, in a way, had to change. Uh, the Bible became to me not exactly, shall we say, true. It portrayed God in a way that I had not experienced, and it portrayed Jesus in another way that I really didn't think was the true Jesus. So it came apart, and I had to replace it with something. So I looked in all the places that I was previously believing were of the devil, which was Buddhism and yoga. And, I'd been told that if I go to yoga, I'm going to lose my soul. And it was a bad thing. And anyway, it was quite phenomenal. So I didn't find, quote unquote, the devil in those areas, but I did find some enlightenment. So I would like to deal with that in the next segment. So we'll let this one go for now. So I had to revamp my belief system in a major way, a belief system that was pretty much established over a period of 30 some odd years. And that was a major struggle for a while. I had a case of post traumatic stress disorder when my world caved in on me. But over time, I replaced um, God of the Bible with the God that I became familiar with. And I have to stress that this God is pretty much not definable. Every attempt at defining God has come short, uh, basically because this entity, this being, is, I think, so pure and beyond our comprehension because we, in this body, cannot reach that state of purity. But nevertheless, this God does exist in my experience. And the same with this person named Jesus did exist and does exist. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. Uh, there's really no way of verifying, all the listed miracles and everything else that is put down. But there is a way of being aware of the Spirit of Christ, which is the Spirit of love and the Spirit of hope. So I guess in a way I'm back in my fundamentalism, but I just want to stress that uh, the vision I have is different. It's more peaceful, it's more inclusive, it's more giving. So the the reason that I'm motivated to share these things is because of our present day circumstance. This planet was formed approximately 4.5 billion years ago. We came on the scene approximately 200,000 years at the end of that 4.5 billion years. The life that formed after several billion years formed in a very, you might say, miraculous way, but also it was a physical event that scientists have discovered how it happened. And when you when you try and place God in this picture, it becomes difficult because we were taught that God created us and in His likeness and image, and on it goes, and He created everything. Well, possibly, but certainly not in the childish, simplistic manner that we're asked to believe. So, what what do we do with our present day circumstance? There were three mass extinctions in from the time very primitive life started to form on this planet, and I've watched some very thorough documentaries on our odds of surviving, and I have to say they're not good. And when I see the anemic attempt of government and the COP27 people and the corporations and generally the population of let's say America, for instance, when they go on this Thanksgiving weekend uh, shopping frenzy, it appears that, and they fly all over and drive all over, and it appears that they don't really think this is real. Well, I do think it's real. It has become so evident, it's unavoidable. I mean, so how how does one not get, let's say, depressed or discouraged? What does one do in this day? Uh, how does one handle this reality? Uh, I'll just leave that little final conclusion for the next segment. Thanks. Yeah, so how do we deal with the situation? How do we deal with our possible extinction? We can do what we can do what we can on an individual basis. But I think at this stage in the game, it would take a very concerted effort by all the governments and all the corporations and all the powers that be on this planet to make uh, enough of a difference. So, because of this reality that I hesitate to share, but I feel like it might be worth it. Uh, we have to, in my sense, in my experience, have some hope in, let's say, God, let's say, angels, because I know of people who have had direct experience with angels and other people besides myself who have had experience with God and with Jesus. And when they share these testimonies, I believe them because they are credible. So that's my way of coping with the bad news that we're bombarded with day in and day out. The other way of coping is to recognize really how beautiful people are, how amazing people are, how giving, and boy, it'd sure be nice if the good guys would win, like in the old westerns. They always seem to win, but nowadays it's looking a little skimpy. So I guess there's my message for today. I mean, you can't lose by asking and praying for help, and we have to rely on that to some extent in my view, from my view. So keep smiling. We'll see you next time.